I haven't been this excited on a Monday for a while. It's because Seafair Week is here. The parade of ships pulling into port as we speak. Some of you may have heard the roar of the Blue Angels. They arrived about 8 o'clock last night. I heard them starting at about 6:30 from where I was. That's why I get excited.
Yeah.
The Museum of Flight's playing host to the Jets this week, and if you're new to the area, you are in for quite a treat. Joining us here from the Blue Angels, Commander Matt Kaslick is here. He's got the twins back here somewhere as well. We'll get to that in just a minute. And Lieutenant Commander Aaron Hicks, also the flight surgeon and a local boy, the pride and joy of Federal Way. He went to Western, and this is exciting because not only is your family here, but this is the homecoming tour. This is the first time you get to fly the Blue Angels at home.
It's the first time I've been here with the Blue Angels at home. That is true.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Pretty exciting.
That's huge. I mean, what is this feeling? Because it's a big deal to make this team. Take us through what it was like to make it to this point and what you're feeling like now.
Absolutely. I mean, going into the Navy, I had no idea that I would end up in the Blue Angels. I joined the Navy as a doctor to be a doctor in the fleet. Wanted to go out and deploy, achieve that goal, and then found an opportunity, a small window to apply to the Blue Angels team, and thought it was a long shot, and then here I am. That was exciting in its own right. Getting that surprise and finding out, hey, you're going to Pensacola, you're going to wear a blue suit, you're going to represent the men and women of the United States Navy and Marine Corps and fly from city to city and be with the Blue Angels. Super exciting. And then to fly back here, arriving here in the 7 jet, landing in Seattle, seeing Mount Rainier, seeing my home, that is even greater than any other previous feeling. It's so fantastic to be home. I'm so excited.
You're making me cry.
In at Blue Angel, right? And Matt, I know you did some training out here on Whidbey. You got the family here. They're in tow. They live in these parts as well. So this is just got to be a special thing. I mean, you do this all over the country. You guys are from Florida to Cleveland to Seattle. Could this ever get old?
It can't get old. I tell you, on behalf of our boss of the Blues, Captain Eric Doyle, and the 130-plus men and women of the Blues that make this team happen, we are super psyched to be here. Seafair is exciting. It's a great week. There's the hydros. We got the parades. You got all these different aircraft that come together. It is fantastic to be here. And such a neat scenery. You got the Cascades, the Olympics, Lake Washington, pristine waters of Puget Sound. We are so pumped to be here.
And that's what I was going to touch on, because even though you have routines, it really may vary a little bit because of different cities and landscapes. So tell us about that piece and how it makes it different.
Absolutely. Well, that's perfect. Last week we were in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Right.
So typically we would do most of our shows at sea level. So when the boss goes up, top of the loops, it's about 5,000 to 6,000 feet in altitude. Well, Grand Junction's about 5,000 feet in elevation. So those loops are a little bit higher. So you have to compensate for that density altitude that we have and the different temperatures and the air pressures, and so sometimes you have to mitigate those risks, and we put a little bit of operational risk management, as we call that, involved, and that really keeps us on our toes for different shows that might have a different feel or a different aspect to it.
There's also a lot of history here, the legacy, it's 73 years with the Blue Angels. So not only do you get to walk around in that outfit, which is rather unmistakable, by the way, but you represent something, that goes back generations. And I know that a big part of the job is actually on land, and that's the community work you do. You're ambassadors, and I know a lot of that is not just for the Navy, but just kind of representing excellence and tradition, right?
That's correct. Yes, we do have that's part of our mission is the community outreach. Doc goes every Friday with his corpsman and a couple of the team members to the hospitals. They reach out to the local community. Our pilots will go to the local high schools, other community events. We have usually Make-A-Wish that come to the airfields when the show's over a field, and the team interacts with them. And that's our whole idea is to inspire not just a 5-year-old but also an 8-year-old to do whatever they want to do in life, and that's part of being something bigger than yourself, and that's what it really comes down to for every member of this team.
Okay, we do have a text message for you guys. Let's see.
Viewers are excited that you're here, so we always throw it out to them. I just wanted to say I'm a Navy mom, and I want to say thank you for your service. Also, we appreciate your wonderful show. Please fly safe always. My thoughts and prayers are with you all.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to
checking in.
What people may not know, you talked about visiting the hospitals, but if people want to take a vacation, they can actually go meet you in Pensacola on certain days, right? Tell us about that.
They certainly can. So after every show, when we get back to Pensacola, we usually get home on Sunday. Mondays are a day off, and then we're practicing on Tuesdays. So we're practicing at the airfield there in Pensacola, and we have our aviation museum as well, where people come to watch us practice as well. And I mean, watching us practice at home is where we're really at our prime, really, because that's your home stadium right there. So.
Yeah. Well, it is such a delight to have you back again, and then to obviously be able to hear your story too, being able to come back home and be in this position. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, Matt, thanks so much for being here. Have fun this weekend. And hey, good news for you drivers out there. They're not closing down I-90 this year. They've redone the plan. There will be no shutdowns, ladies and gentlemen. You can just enjoy it. We're your Seafair station, by the way, so if you want to see the races, you want to see the air show, 1 to 5 on Kong, you can just text the word Seafair to 206-448-4545. We'll take you back to
You get all the
everything you
info.
need to know. Thank you. We'll be
Thank
looking
you.
and listening for you.
All right, we're glad to be here.
Glad to be
All
here.
right. Michelle.